Hey everybody, what's going on? Jamie here, and with me again, I cannot get rid of this guy, the Norman Osborn to my Green Goblin. Scott's back. How you doing, bud?
Norman,
Yeah, the unfun one, right?
the unfun, the unfun one.
The
Right.
unfun one. Yep, yep, the one that gets in the way of the good time. Scott,
Yeah.
what are we playing? So we're just chilling
Right.
out tonight, guys. Scott's
Mhm.
hooked up his Nintendo GameCube. Show us the controller, Scotty. Prove it.
Yes, that's
There
right.
it
It's
is.
a good old
In the
cube.
flesh. So Scott, you've got the GameCube hooked up with the Game Boy,
Player.
Game Boy Player
Yes, the good
attachment.
old Game Boy Player attachment.
And
That
what are we
was
playing tonight, and why?
well, well. I thought, in the spirit of Spider-Man 2 coming out on PS5 recently, how about we give the viewers a look at Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
but on Game Boy Color.
We could be playing Spider-Man 2, but instead we're playing Spider-Man 2, the old one. The one that pretty much nobody knows even exists, I'm imagining. I didn't even know this game existed. But this is your actual genuine copy of this. So
Yep. Yes, this.
how long have you had this for? Is this something you've had since childhood, or did you
Oh
reacquire
hell
this
no,
recently?
no. This is within this year.
Oh wow, okay, so this is a new purchase. What made you
Say yes.
click the buy button on this one?
Um. I've been trying to capture some of the old school Spideys for my collection. I have a bit of a video game collection, a modest one. Um, and um, my favorite Spider-Man game of all time is the Spider-Man that came out in the early 2000s. It's usually called Spider-Man 2000 because it was just to differentiate it from all the other games that are just called
That was on
Spider-Man.
the. Is that the one on the PlayStation? Like a PlayStation
Yeah,
One?
it came out on PS1,
Yeah.
Nintendo 64, if you were in Europe,
Right. Which we are not.
and which we are not, and PC.
Right. Okay.
And
Yes, I do remember that. That was a
yeah,
pretty cool game. That's where you just like web slinging into the clouds, right?
that was the first time
Yeah.
web slinging in 3D
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. That was a good
and
game.
and the limits of the technology at the time had the city was like covered in this fog because they couldn't render rooftops and street
Yeah.
level with what they
There
had.
was no street level in that game, right?
No,
No, it was
no,
all
no, no.
rooftop. Like you look at that now, it's fucking rough as rough gets. But back in the day, man, that shit was mind blowing for a
Yeah,
couple of Spider-Man fans like us, right?
yeah, that was it. Was it was then and still is my favorite
Right.
Spidey
Okay.
game.
So how
Like
does this one factor into that? Is this a
well,
sequel to that game?
so there's two sequels really.
Right.
So that game also got a Game Boy Color version.
Okay.
Um, just titled Spider-Man as well. I also have that one in my collection, and then it got a sequel that was PlayStation exclusive
Mm-hmm.
called Enter Electro, Spider-Man 2 Enter
Oh,
Electro,
I remember that. Yeah.
and that's where they actually got rooftops and street
Yep.
level in the game.
Yep.
They figured it out. They incorporated them
Oh,
both.
I'd forgotten all
Um,
about that game.
though the buildings weren't that high. Um, so yeah, so they made that, and they gave the Vicarious Visions was the developer behind it, but they were working on doing a I don't know why, but a sequel to the Game Boy Color version, and they gave it to a group called what is it, Taurus Games,
Okay.
and they made this. So this is like a I don't know if it's like an alternate universe spin-off sequel. Yeah, so it's a sequel, but
Okay.
not to the PlayStation exclusive sequel.
Okay.
So it's sort of in its place.
Well, I am here purely as a spectator slash heckler tonight. This is all Scott, but we're gonna just chill out. We're gonna play this. We're gonna have a chat. We're probably gonna chat about Spider-Man 2, the recent Spider-Man 2. We're probably gonna talk about Spider-Man in general, because we're both massive Spider-Man fans. Um, But yeah, do you want to crack on, Scotty? Do you want to get
All
stuck
right,
into this?
Let's get this.
Have you finished?
stuck
Have
into
you
it.
played and finished this game before?
I haven't touched it till today.
Okay. So this is the first play.
So
for
this
you.
is yeah, we're entering virgin territory
Oh,
here.
nice,
I have
okay.
not touched it. I've
Outstanding.
played it to test it,
Yep.
but I have not actually had a good sit down.
Brilliant.
And have a go
So
with
we're
this
going to be
one.
able to see live how rage-inducing this old
Yep.
Game Boy Color game
All right.
is. Okay. Brilliant. Oh, hard.
just
What are you doing?
gonna-
Hey, hang on. Go
No.
back. Go back. Hang on now. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I'll give the people
There
what
you
they
go.
want. You want it on hard, Jimmy. You like it hard.
We
All
do. You know me.
right.
Now, unfortunately, we cannot capture the audio from the game. I'm sure we're not missing a whole lot, but we can't capture the audio from the game. We can only get
Really
visual.
grungy techno.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. So we'll play
it's
a little bit of Spider-Man 2 soundtrack in the background to match
what we could be
our,
showing
cutting
you,
edge
but
visuals.
choosing
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah. Yeah, we could play this Spider-Man 2 soundtrack in the background, but we had a little bit of a listen to that before. Oof. It's not a great soundtrack, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, if the music gets too loud, just let me know and I'll shut it off. All right, what's going on? What are we missing? here?
So Aunt May's just sitting there in a chair, enjoying some nice peaceful evening, and Sandman and Scorpion
Aunt
just
May?
bust in.
I like it's a question. I like how it's a question there. Aunt May? No! Tell Bug Boy to go to Coney Island Pier. Oh, are you flicking through this, or is this just...
No. This is just it's doing
Jeez, it doesn't give you much time to fucking read, does it?
No, and imagine this on a Game Boy Color,
Enter the hero.
Like with
I
this
hope
tiny screen.
he's prepared for Act 1. Okay, I got that one out. Oh, so Mysterio up first, hey?
For it may be his finale.
No,
See, I don't even know if I would have been able to read that on a Game Boy Color.
No, probably not. It zips
Okay,
through
here we
pretty
go. All right, I'm in,
Oh,
and our first opponent
is a mascot. Now, hang on.
is a mascot. Right?
Is that a civilian or is that an enemy?
I don't know.
Can't fit. Why would the enemy
My
dress up
spider
like
sense
that?
is tingling.
Is it really?
My spider sense.
Oh, it is too.
See. All right, let's see.
Hang on. Is this mascot going to suddenly like...
Oh, Jesus! Oh,
Jesus Christ!
These guys don't fuck around.
No, he's been in that fucking suit all day. It's 36 degrees. He's had enough.
Here we go. This is more like it. This is less confusing. Just a dude with a gun.
Yeah, you're gonna get shot here. Bang! Look at that, right in the kisser. Is this on hard? Did you go back and set it on hard?
Oh, it's on hard.
Oh, outstanding. Oh, you slide.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Spider-Man shouldn't be able to slide. That should be impossible. Maybe that's the hard difficulty.
Yep. I think so. Oh, Jesus. This is.
How does that feel? Does that feel good to
Oh,
play?
it's like I think I'm getting some like input lag.
Okay. Nice.
A
Excellent.
little bit.
Excellent. On top of hard difficulty.
Yeah.
Can you like...
Oh,
Can you whip him up or do... Yeah, there you go. That one.
oh, yeah. I
A little bit of that.
I think that I was just spamming buttons. So
Oh, he's been bamboozled. He can't aim
can't aim down.
He's sitting there just like, shit.
Oh, Jesus! Cracked me in the
Dude
head
with
with
the
the
club.
baseball bat.
Yep.
I like the '60s Batman style biff wham.
Yeah. Zow.
Oh, Jesus!
I wonder whose job it was to come up with those sound noises. Like, and what a cool job that would be. You just got to come up with power noises, like different power noises. That would have been great.
It's like it's. I'm stuck on the wall here. All right.
Well, that's
all
your
right.
Spider-Man, you know? That makes sense.
Yeah. But
That's what he does.
usually it happens when you want it to, and not
Hey,
when you
hard.
don't.
Hey,
Oh, outsmarted you. Oh, damn it, I caught him in the face. Oh, he's wet up.
He's webbed up. No,
Oh, shit, he's
No,
broken
he's-
through.
he's the strongest man alive, this guy.
Oh, my God. That's
Snap.
2 shots. and it makes sense. But 2 shots and
You are nearly
my health
dead,
bar
sir. Nearly
is
dead.
nearly gone.
Level 1, the tutorial level. Yeah, I think we found this guy's weakness is that his arthritis is playing up and he can't bend at a 45-degree angle. Whoop, whoop, oh, oh. Oh, he wailed on.
Damn.
The bear man has killed Spider-Man. It's just going to be an hour of this fucking Coney Island level. I can see it now.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You forgot his weakness. You forgot. You walked right into that one.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
So, I got a question for you. Because I actually don't know. We've known each other for like 20 years or something ridiculous. But I don't know that... Oh, again. You will... Listen, you're not going to learn. They can't aim down. And I don't know that I know the answer to this question. I might do. You and I are both obviously huge Spider-Man fans. We have chats about Spidey all the time. What was, how did you learn about Spidey? What was your first encounter with Spider-Man?
My first encounter?
Yeah. Where was the first time that you learned Spider-Man existed and was a thing and that you liked it?
Well, it came from, I guess it came from my brother and my mum.
Okay.
So, and of course the beloved 90s animated series.
Okay.
Spider-Man. So I think, so my brother grew up watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Which came out in like the 70s. It was a typical Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Had like Firestar and Iceman in it, and they were his friends.
Oh shit! Okay, that's some deep cuts. Yeah, right.
And it was my brother grew up sort of watching that, and then I grew up watching the animated sort of series, but I sort of knew who Spider-Man was prior to seeing the 90s series, but I didn't know anything about the character whatsoever. And then I just kept watching, every weekday morning, Spider-Man on with Cheese TV.
90s Spider-Man was like a different beast, wasn't it? Like 90s Spider-Man was where, we wanted to get the teens in, Like you sort of have
darker.
A little bit edgy. A little bit more gritty. You see things like the way his costume would get torn up. Like that's a 90s Spider-Man thing that got introduced,
Yeah.
Like the enemies suddenly become a little bit more horrific. The Rogues Gallery in the 90s.
Yeah. Less wholesome.
Yeah. Like Spidey himself, personality-wise, remained much the same as he always had. But everything around him got very 90s-ified.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, hey? That was encounter number 1. When did you get onto the comic?
Well...
Much later?
Much later. Much later. That was late teens. So the very game in question, the one, my favorite, Spider-Man 2000, I wanted to get that on 64 because I saw it in 64 Power, the magazine that we had.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get it in that, but because I saw the ad for it in there, but I didn't know that that was a European only release.
Okay.
And so I went into a shop and found the PC version, and instead of the 64 version, which I was really hoping on. So I grabbed the PC one, and incidentally, by the way, the PC one is by far and away the most superior version of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
So I lucked out then, and in that game, and one of the reasons why I still love it is hidden in most of the levels are pickups, and these pickups are in the form of Spider-Man comics.
Oh, I see.
And when you picked one up, when you went after you've collected them, you collected like one at least, you go into, there's a gallery in the main menu of the game, which shows you the issue that you collected. It has a picture, tells you what issue, what comic series it's from, and a bit about it, and why
Cool.
it's significant.
Yep, that's cool.
So like one of the first comics you sort of get is like the first appearance of the Lizard, which is like amazing,
nice.
one of the early Amazing Spider-Man ones.
Yep.
And I loved reading those, weirdly enough.
Okay.
I got into looking at those and like thinking that was really awesome how they had all these key issues, and to see like the front covers of the comics where some of my favorite villains arose. And then it wasn't until later on I ended up getting one of those DK encyclopedias for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that, and in there was just, you know, a wealth of information. You've got one yourself. Yours is more up to date than my one.
Yep.
But it was just a wealth of information on the character and all the villains and people in his life and in the character's world. And I liked it sort of so much. I had developed a bit of an interest in the comic books.
Yep.
And so I'm reading. And then when I came to visit you one time, I found that I found like this DVD that had like the Amazing Spider-Man from like, there's like 560 issues in there.
Yep.
And I found that today, by the way, actually,
nice.
while
you were cleaning out the garage.
Yeah. And and it had like 500 issues. I'm still working my way through it.
Yeah, it's a lot of comics.
It's a hell of a lot. $100, and I've got like over 500 issues of Amazing Spider-Man digitally.
Yep.
So I'm still plugging away through that, but I don't read very often, not as often as I'd like to.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that it's on a CD and you have to read it on a computer screen. Like you can't just flip through it on an iPad or something, you know.
Well, I actually do have it on my tablet.
Oh, nice.
I load like a whole bunch of issues in it at the same time.
Oh, cool.
And then just sort of it was just way too hard to do it through a thing. But yeah, that's pretty much how and why I got into Spidey comics.
Nice. Oh, Spidey comics.
Oh my god, I keep falling for this dude.
I know. Well, you're doing pretty well there, and it seems like pretty much everyone has the same fucking weakness in this game. Like the shins, the Achilles heel. They're all descendants of Achilles in this game. A whole lot of them. My first encounter with Spider-Man was a fairly unconventional one, I think, for most people. Like, you know, most people come into it through comics or TV shows, right? I would imagine it's one or the other. My very first time I ever heard of Spider-Man was the trading cards.
Oh, yes, the 90s.
Yeah, the 1994 Fleer Spider-Man of the Amazing Spider-Man trading cards. And I still have my collection. I should have brought it in. We could have done show and tell. And I remember a friend of mine had these because I don't think he was a huge Spider-Man fan. He just loved how the cards looked. Because again, it was like mid-90s Spider-Man. It was about as like edgy, gritty Spider-Man as you can get. Like Mark Bagley does the art. Like he was a Spider-Man artist of the year, of the era. He does all the art on the cards. The whole series is illustrated by him. And so when I think, in my head, when I think of Spider-Man, it's his Spider-Man.
It's Bagley's.
It's Bagley's Spider-Man that I imagine, right? I think Bagley also did... he also did Ultimate Spider-Man, which his art was very, very different. Yeah, his art was super different for Ultimate Spider-Man. If you go back and look at like mid-90s Bagley Spider-Man, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's why with the really big eyes and the really sharp angles and the really
the pointy feet.
The really the pointy feet and the really like McFarlane inspired poses, like the really spider-like poses, more spider than man sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And he loved to rip up that costume. Mark Bagley was the king of making Spidey look like he'd been through the ringer. With the torn up, the shredded costume all the time. But I was entranced by these trading cards. Like, oh, what is this? Look at this. They look so grown up. You know, they look so adult. And what was so cool about the cards was that they all depicted a villain or an ally or a scene or a moment or something like that from his life. You foil for it again, man. Walk straight into that again.
I'm trying. He's standing up. He's standing up straight away, and I'm trying to just keep crouched.
I've actually just noticed that when you're crouched and kicking, you're actually kicking them all right in the crotch, like directly in the crotch, repeatedly, over and over again.
You can't aim up.
I don't know what your problem is. Seems like a cheap shot to me, you know? Thank God for health packs everywhere.
yeah, I'd be in some serious trouble.
You'd be right up shit creek. And anyway, so on the back of these cards, it would tell you about what was on the front, right? It would go into information about the villain or the ally or the scene or the moment or the, you know, some iconic thing that happened. And so I learned a heap about Spider-Man by just reading the back of these trading cards. And I think there's 150 of them in the set. So I absorbed so much information just from doing that. And then I went from that, I think, to a mix of the comics that I managed to find. Like, I never went like you're doing it the ideal way. My Spider-Man comic experience was going down to the secondhand bookshop and seeing if they had any random issues in stock and grabbing them, and then kind of, you know, so you're kind of haphazardly reading them from all over the place, you know, not in order. But because you had the cards, you sort of recognize, like, oh yeah, I know who this is, or I know who that is, or I know what's going on here. And the 90s, the animated series, right? Those two. But yeah, it was the cards to start with, and I still absolutely adore them. They're one of my most treasured possessions. Something interesting, Scott, I was missing a few of the set.
Yeah.
And the cards, like, they you know how you have like a trading card binder sleeve that has like 9 pockets in it, right?
Yeah.
Well, this trading card series was drawn in a way that it was, you got 9 cards in a set that would go together to make a complete picture, like a complete scene. It was so cool. Anyway, I've got a bunch of them that were missing cards, missing pieces of the scene, and I just managed to track down and fill the gaps on an eBay special just like literally a week ago. So
oh wow,
yeah, they are in the
so
mail.
As of a week, you've finally got a full
I will have
set.
my full 150 complete after all these years since 1994 and buying those gold, if you know what I'm talking about, they came in like the gold foil pack with the webbing on the front and a random, it was either Carnage, because it's the mid 90s, it was either Carnage, Venom or Spidey on the front of the packs, for like $2.99 or something. They were $2 or $3.99. They were the days. From the newsagent, I think we sold them here, and it was just glorious. Whoa! He just had to catch his breath there for a second. Yeah, I love those cards. I love them dearly.
No, I have seen your when I've come to visit, you've shown me your card collection. It is gorgeous. The artwork.
It is something, and it holds up too. It's not like art that, you know, you look at it now and go, oh geez, that's a bit rough. Like, it is still epic. Spidey.
Yeah, see, I'm getting over that. I'm getting over their corners.
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
They spread the word around. They're like, just wait, he'll jump straight up, and that's when you shoot him. And then you've bamboozled them now. Now they don't know what's coming.
I tell you what, it's actually some of the 2D games of Spider-Man struggled to get wall crawling done. I think this game is the best I've seen a 2D Spidey game
absolutely.
do wall
It's
crawling.
probably one of the best at all, like full stop for wall crawling.
Like, you know? He's just going. I'm just like right here. I'm just pushing to the right. That is it. I'm not pushing up. I'm just pushing to the right, and he just goes around the corner.
Yep.
Smoothly.
Just naturally, he doesn't fall off. Yeah, nice. I'll tell you what, I came on here ready to heckle and jeer, and you're actually doing a lot better than... I'm a little bit disappointed, actually.
And there you go, Jim. That's what you wanted, just a
give
bullet
that guy
to the
a promotion. He's the one who took down Spider-Man, finally. Ended Spidey's reign of terror.
Even look at this. I'm just chilling through the.
Just crawling around. It's super cool, actually. You know, back in the day, this would have been amazing.
Pardon the pun.
Pardon the pun.
All right, hang on.
So, do you have a favorite story arc or a favorite comic, Scott? Oh, actually, before you answer that, let's go back one step, and then we'll come back to that question. What is it about Spider-Man that was so appealing to you?
I knew that was coming.
Did you? Why did you fall in love with Spidey?
I think part of now this is common for Marvel, particularly Stan Lee's characters. But it was not just the hero's story, but the man behind the mask story as well.
Yes.
Just there's it's not personal troubles were always a thing for Peter and always will be, I hope, part and parcel with the character. So like those, it's not just about getting the suit on and doing stuff. His problems are always sort of intertwined with him.
Yes.
Both Peter's problems and Spidey's.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Connors is a personal friend of his and mentor, and he's also one of his most popular villains.
That's actually really true. The way Spidey's life is so intertwined with Peter's life, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though, they are almost two separate characters.
I was trying to get that.
Which is the one that killed you? Is it this guy over here? Was he the one? Did he do the deed?
No. Further up. I got a bit further than this.
Okay. All right. So the way that bear guy again, and a bear guy on the roof. Like, what's he doing up there? So it's the way that the worlds were connected.
Yeah, and he was interesting, and it was like you sort of like unlike Superman, he's not completely invulnerable.
Yeah,
and he's not just this. He had to. Not that I'm discrediting Superman or anything, but he had to think more with how he approached situations. And Batman's just this all around freaking badass martial arts master and detective.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing when you look at it, when you like step back and look at comics at large, how many superheroes come from a life of privilege. Like Iron Man is a billionaire. Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. Wonder Woman is a princess. Fucking Black Panther is a king. Like there's so like they when they've got the costume off, they've sort of they've made it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're extraordinary people.
They're extraordinary
without the costume.
Yes, that's right. You could go on and on and on, but Spidey's just a guy. Like he's just a kid. Oh, look out!
Here it is.
Oh
Jesus.
Whoa. Watch it now. Watch it. Whoa, you got to get up quicker get up earlier in the morning than that, Mysterio. Oh, there you go. Oh, no.
Shit, this flame is hurting me.
That's it. Just keep the web going. Keep it going. Now get it. That's it. Give him a little bit of the old one too.
Oh shit! Damn it.
At least you respawn straight back here. That's pretty nice. That's uncharacteristic of a game of this era.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Come on. You gotta.
Too sticky. It was too sticky.
Yes.
I think you got it down though. Whoop.
I gotta.
Yeah, you got it now. You got him made.
Oh damn it!
Oh, too eager. Look, this is some Dark Souls shit here. Look at these patterns.
Damn it!
Get up and jump in his face. One, two,
Ah,
one, two,
damn
one, two.
it. See, I think I'm.
Web him. Web him.
Yeah, I can't. I'm out of webbing.
Oh, you can run out of web. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is characteristic of the PC game, but of the other versions of the game, which is.
I feel like I hated that in the other versions where you could run out.
See, I loved it because it was the character.
Yeah, I think as a
Spidey
kid.
never, yeah,
No,
damn, take it.
Straight.
Oh
in his ass.
shit, he's got another one. Oh shit, he's got another one. He's got another one. He's got another orb around him. Oh, no, I have to let him throw it.
I'll continue with the questioning.
Oh, and he throws it at
Look
me.
out. Okay.
See, I thought I was like, do the smart thing and just hang by him, punch him in the head when he pops up.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You got the vantage point. Oh, yes. Oh, you're acing it now. You got the pattern.
Dang it!
Uh-oh.
Oh, dang it! I'm down.
Oh, no.
It's actually quite because to give you an idea of what I'm struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
So I own, because this is a Game Boy Color game. I only have 2 buttons to work with, and to shoot my web, I have to hold the attack button down, and press both buttons down at the same time.
Okay. So it's very easy to accidentally jump
or punch
when you don't mean to. Yeah, true.
So yeah,
that's actually, you raise a really good point when you think about games from that era. If you had more than 2 actions, right? Like suddenly it was trouble. I'm thinking specifically of like Double Dragon, where you had a punch and a kick, and if you wanted to jump, you had to press both of them at the same time. Guess what didn't register very often? A whole lot of walking off the edge of buildings in that game.
All right. I think I'm just gonna have to just not worry about him when he's on the right side of the screen.
Yep.
Ah, Jesus. Yeah, just not worry about him when he's on the right side of the screen.
Oh, down goes Solo.
There's 1, 2 more.
Bring them on. Bring them both at the same time. Come on.
Just have them.
We're on hard mode, damn it.
Oh yeah, we are too. I forgot about that. It's just what's Game Boy hard and what's game hard.
Like when you look at it, it's not a very effective attack, is it? Like I'm gonna shoot this beam of light at you that flashes upwards and crosses the screen very slowly against the most agile man in the world. Like I think you're bombed out of that one, Mysterio.
But yet it's been working for him up until now.
Look, that's got nothing on Spidey, okay? That's all you.
Come on.
Yeah,
number
another
2.
one bites the dust. Mow. No. Here we go. And the third one's like, you know what'll work this time?
You won't see it
Slow
coming.
pulses of light across the screen. Third time, like he's got around it the first 2 times, but this time we're wearing him down, boys.
I like how you can really tell which version of Mysterio is the real one. Like you've got these static images, their capes don't even move. But there he is. There the real one is up there, who's a bit of a tank by comparison.
Billowing cape.
And his cape's just bellowing.
Yep.
You can tell he's like just got this self-satisfied about him.
Yes.
Like,
I wonder if he's gonna
cool
if you beat these, you've done it, or if he's gonna come down himself after this.
Yeah. I'm curious. Well, we're gonna find out in a moment, aren't we?
Well, I hope so, Scott. If you keep the rhythm going. Don't choke.
Whoa!
Here we go. He's coming down. Come on, big boy. Oh,
That's it.
no, he's vanished.
A brilliant performance, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. But weren't you
weren't
heading for the
the
pier? I like Mysterio.
Yes.
Mysterio will have to wait.
Yeah.
I've got to find. Oh, Aunt May. Get to the bottom of this. Full stop.
Oh, where we are. Unlock
Oh yeah.
pier
There's
gate.
the password.
Passcode.
Actually, write that one down.
Jesus, what the hell?
6Y1 1X.
1X. Alright, here we go.
Right.
Alright.
Now,
So I'm on the...
You can continue your discussion about why you love Spider-Man now that you don't need a cosplay. As a typical, Scott and I are both suffer from the same typical male illness in that we can't do two things at once.
Yes, I can't fight Mysterio and answer questions.
I can't play a game and talk. It's why I'm so bad at streaming.
But let's see. I guess another thing that I always liked about Peter is you touched on it before with superhero. They're always successful.
Mm.
Peter's not.
Nope.
In fact, he's classically not the most least successful person.
Yep.
He's always struggling to
almost comically so.
Yeah. Like he's the only superhero I know who has to literally sew his own bloody suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time and time again. After Bagley's just drawn the shit out of his costume.
Yeah. And he's sitting there going, Bags, no, come on, this is too nice work.
Come on, you know how long it took me to get this? But yeah, he's so I've seen numerous panels of him stabbing himself with the needle, sitting there in his underwear, just working on this one suit that he's got. He doesn't have multiple suits like Batman. He can just dispose of them when they get a bit.
Sort one out, and I'll get another one.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a character, and probably one of the first ones really in comics, because I was actually thinking, there's a lot of similarities character-wise between Spidey and Captain America. They were both just regular, ordinary, everymans at the beginning of pre-superhero, just little nobodies, who were then granted abilities that were those abilities to be given to another person might be used for ill, but they were just given to the right people with the right morals and the right core beliefs and the right moral compass, all that sort of thing. Like those powers, it was a very, very good thing that those people got those powers. Whereas, Steve Rogers was chosen for his because of that moral compass. Peter's was an accident.
He happened to have that.
But it's what I'm getting at, I guess, is that even post Spider-Man, once Steve Rogers became Captain America, all the problems that he had as Steve Rogers pre-serum kind of vanished, right? Mm-hmm. And from that point on, he was Cap. Whether he had the suit on or not, he was Cap. Peter never went away, right?
No, hell no. And in fact, his problems got worse.
And I think that's such a fascinating part of his character, is that these powers, when you look at in juxtaposition between, say, Captain America, where the powers Steve Rogers was given made his life infinitely better in all aspects. Peter, when he received his powers, it could be argued that his life got exponentially worse as a result.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's that everyman mentality, that everyman character that's relatable. I think so that's what it comes down to, is that Spider-Man was the first superhero, I think, ever invented that was relatable to the reader. That the reader could see and see themselves in those situations, in having those same problems that Peter has on an everyday, day-to-day basis, You just can't put yourself in the shoes of someone like Batman or Superman or Iron Man or Captain America, because you can't relate. You can't relate to them. You can admire them and aspire to what they stand for and use them as your own moral compass, all that sort of thing, but you can't relate to them the way you can relate to Spider-Man. I think that's why that character is just so damn endearing.
I mean, let's face it, Spidey struggles to pay rent.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Who
Even
doesn't
as
sort of pay
Spider-Man.
rent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man becoming Spider-Man.
Oh, just kicked me to. Wow.
That was like a,
Wow.
I'm sick of your shit boot to the jaw. What a takedown. Give that person a raise. That's amazing.
It's like your little crotch punching trick won't work with
so
me.
You just step up and just boot to the head. Oh, nice.
Shit.
Well, certainly, that's certainly one of the things I love about Spidey, is that he's relatable, you know? And Spider-Man has, for a long time, ever since I discovered him, has been, you know, my moral compass. I often say, you know, those like bracelets people get, they're like, what would Jesus do? I often get myself into situations and think, what would Spidey do? You know? Even to this very day, I think that to myself when I'm confronted with, you know, difficult situations, you know? Because he's never, like, you know, what I love about Peter is that he always makes the right choice.
Yep.
Even though it's often the hard choice, right? It's not the easy
yeah.
choice. It's the difficult choice, but it's the right choice to make. And that makes him very endearing to me.
Yeah. No,
I think
absolutely,
that's
man.
a big part of his appeal, his mass appeal. Certainly, to me specifically, I really adore that about him. And the fact that, like, you know, like you said before, that like, he's not invulnerable, right? Like, he's strong. Like, Spidey can pick up a car. He can take up some punishment. He can dish out some punishment. You know, like, he's got the comparative strength of a spider, which ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I love about Spider-Man, my favorite thing about Spider-Man is that he's got so much heart, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to kill that fucker to to put him down for good. He will always get back up. No matter how many times he gets knocked down, no matter how dire the situation is, Spider-Man always gets back up. And I love that. I really, really love it. It's like because you know he's so relatable, and you know he is the everyman, and you know he's not invulnerable. The fact that he does keep on getting back up when he's taken, you know, beating after beating after beating.
Yep.
It's inspiring.
When all else looks hopeless.
Yeah. Spidey will get up with a joke on his lips, and he will keep going. And I think that's a really inspiring thing in a way that, again, the superheroes that you can't relate to, it's difficult for them to be inspiring like that because they're not relatable.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely. So I'm just on a side note, Jim. So I'm hanging around this truck, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I want to point out that this actually makes me love this game.
Yeah.
Right now. So I'm hanging around this truck because it has got one thing that I've played a lot of Spider-Man games in my years. Almost everyone that I can get my hands on. This is the only Spider-Man game that I've played where you can do a very Spider-Man thing and walk on the belly of a truck.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And I've never seen that in any Spider-Man game other than right now.
That is
walking
cool.
on the belly of a truck.
Yep, that is really fucking cool. Have we even seen that in like movies or shows or anything? I don't know that we have we?
I've seen it on shows. It's usually when like it's in my 90s animated Spider-Man. It's usually when like he's tailing a group of thugs and he's like, if it's a truck, he's usually either under it or on top of it. If it's a car, he's on top of it.
Yeah.
But it's usually, you know, when he needs them to lead him somewhere.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, I've never seen that in a video game.
That is cool. Yeah, that's a really good catch.
Oh, she's kicking me in that. Oh, you just. Oh,
look, there's another truck you can climb under.
And whoop.
Hey!
And look at it. This just transitions.
Hey, look at that animation,
easily.
actually. Look at that animation just there. This is Game Boy we're talking about. Like, this is. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing different between a Game Boy and a Game Boy Color is color, correct? Or was the Game Boy Color physically more powerful than the Game Boy, or not?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but like because there were Game Boy game, like when the Game Boy Color first came out, they made games to work on both.
Right. Okay.
And then later on, they introduced Game Boy Color only games, which is what this one is.
Yeah.
Because and you can tell a Game Boy Color only game because it's got a clear, transparent plastic casing on the cartridge.
Yeah. Right. Can you stick to the? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, could you do the little flippy animation again? Like when you go up in there, does he like? Yeah, look at that. Like the animations in this game are pretty fucking slick, actually. For whatever year this was.
Smooth.
What year would this come out?
So this would have been 2001.
Okay, so this is the tail end of. Is that the tail end of the Game Boy Color?
Oh, I have the
technology to look this up.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know when the Game Boy.
I'm so glad you asked. I'll tell you.
Discontinued.
All right, so the Game Boy Advance came out in 2001.
Yep.
So that's pretty. Like it ceased production in 2003. But 2001 was the next the next console. That's essentially its death knell, right? So for this to be coming out at the end of its lifespan, like this looks pretty slick, man.
Yeah.
Like, this looks almost like a Game Boy Advance game.
And it's it just right in the kisser.
Wow.
There's a little bit of a knack to the web slinging too.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Like I've got to hold down the jump button.
Yep.
And so I jump and then I hold down the jump button again.
Okay. And
then I've got to I continue as soon as I release it, he stops swinging.
Okay.
And then I've got to I've then got to redo my next web for my next swing because he doesn't transition into the next swing.
I see. Bit of an art to it.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, this one's got a stick.
Oh, look out! We've upgraded. We've upgraded from guns to sticks.
Oh, man, the first level's riddled with health packs. Now they're barely any.
That's because you're up in the sky. You need to get down on the ground. There'll be some down here for sure.
There it is. This dude's gonna just fart, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get killed.
Something else I think is again on the relatable. Oh, what's that above you? Is that like?
Oh, the Spidey armor!
Oh, look out! Now, what is that? Is that like basically like temporary health, I suppose, right?
So if it's going by the 2000 Spider-Man game, it is just a second health bar.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But it this one's temporary.
Temporary.
You scumbags! Yeah, in the other one it was.
Why you had that on?
Oh, maybe I should have just ran through.
Should have just plowed.
But it was a second health bar, and you couldn't. Whenever you got health packs, you couldn't heal it.
Mm-hmm.
But so as soon as it would go, it would go.
Yeah.
It disappeared as soon as that second bar was gone. But yeah,
temporary hit points in the D&D lingo.
Yes.
Now, before I was rudely interrupted, I was saying something. I can't remember what it was. On the relatability of Spider-Man, the other thing I think that is really relatable is the fact that, like, as much as Spider-Man and Peter share the same everything, right? Life, moral compass, the whole thing, right? It's so interesting that when that mask goes on, Peter's a different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and isn't that true of real life? The way we all mask and wear masks in different situations. The way that, you know, he's sort of a meek, mild-mannered kid, and then he chucks that mask on, and he's a wisecracking smartass. Who
most annoying person in the world.
Yeah, who has the confidence to say everything Peter could never say. You know, behind that mask, right? I think that's again so relatable. Another. Oh, look at that for a cheap shot.
Just you're gonna die, clown.
You gotta watch out for those windows. There we go.
Oh, Jesus.
We found his weakness. Open windows.
Oh, shot in the air.
Oh,
Shot in the air.
sniped.
Like you just don't care. Yeah, let's get him. Just gonna kick you in the crotch until you go down.
Crotch. He didn't want children anyway, that guy. Bam. No, that's a shin. That's a solid shin shot, that one. Oh, right on top of a dude. So have you got some favorite arcs, Scott? Some either favorite comics or favorite story arcs?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't have any favorites?
I
You like
don't.
them all
I
equally?
don't. So unlike yourself,
Yep.
I actually haven't read a lot of like I have just read from The Amazing Spider-Man from issue 1.
Yep.
Well, rather issue 15 of Amazing Fantasy, where his first appearance was, and through the Amazing Spider-Man series up to I think I'm on 224 at the moment.
Yep.
And he's currently in that issue. He's currently in a relationship with Black Cat.
Aha. Okay. Yep.
So, I've been sort of reading Spidey and Peter's life.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to singular story arcs,
I
like
wonder what
I've
year that is that you're up to. Like, have you hit 90s yet? Do you think?
no. I'm in I'm in 80s. I'm in 80s.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there's that sweet armor.
Yes, that's sweet,
There you go.
Spidey armor.
Blaze.
I do have a soft spot for this costume. This first made its appearance in Web of Spider-Man.
Animated series,
Issue
right?
no,
Or is it in the
no, in the comic book.
Yeah, right.
It's in the animated series.
It is, yeah. Last episode, isn't it? Like, was it
yes,
last episode?
the Spider Wars.
Yep.
Spider Wars.
And then just fucking ended on a cliffhanger, the whole series.
Yeah, well, and at least he got to meet his creator, Stan Lee, in it.
Yeah, that's true. We got to get Stan in there somewhere.
Well, that was actually one of the things I loved about this game. Like the first one of these games was Stan narrated it,
right? Yeah. That was cool. I don't think I even would have known who's like. I don't know that I would have known that was Stan Lee at the time that I played that. You know.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Now, in retrospect, you can look back and go, "Hey, that was pretty awesome."
Yeah, and I'm just doing a bit of the unique crawl along the belly of a truck.
Get your fill while it's available. So no.
Oh!
Wow, that was right in the face.
Right in the face.
Right in the beak. That one.
And yet I'm still kicking him in the nuts.
Spider kick beats pistol every time, except when it doesn't. Oh, throwing a few fisticuffs this time, mixing it up a little bit.
Yep.
Keep him guessing. I don't think I've seen these stick dudes like even take one swing yet.
No, I've been sort of catching them.
Yeah, we've got
catching them before they
no
can.
idea what they're capable of. Let them get a couple of swings in, Scott. Go on.
This is where my downfall was.
Is it necessary to defeat all the enemies in a level? Like, could you just jump over them and swing through?
No, I've missed a heap.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Like,
They're just
it's weird that you
the
don't.
The goal is just to get to one from one side of the screen to the other.
So you
as
don't
far
get
as I can
anything
tell.
for defeating these guys, which is a bit strange, isn't it? Like, there's no incentive to fight people.
Yeah, no, they're just sort of pose as obstacles.
Yeah.
To be either avoided or taken out. Yeah, I knew one was going to be there. You scum.
No. That's it. The black suit.
Flying kick, boom, smack you in the face, roundhouse. I'm Chuck Norris.
We'll just swing all the way through now. That's it. Enough of this shit.
Yep.
We're swinging through.
Oh
shit, it's not working.
Jesus, freaking hell. 4 of them. I'm Spider-Man. I should just need to... Well, I'm swinging. I should just put my legs out. That'll take care of them. Like that.
I'm amazed you don't have a favourite storyline or favourite issue in particular, or
yeah. Well,
nothing.
I don't.
Nothing stands out to you.
So. Yeah, nothing real, nothing particularly. Just
Oh, you're killing me.
calls to me, because yeah, I haven't like I've read a ton of, like, for instance, Batman graphic novels.
Yeah.
Far and away the only sort of Batman comics I read are the graphic novels, like the collected story arcs.
Yeah.
And those I have my favorites in, but I've not done that with Spidey. I've just
Well, there aren't many, to be fair.
No, there's certainly not to Batman's extent at all.
No, there's no. In fact, I'm sure they exist, but I can't off the top of my head think of.
Yeah.
Oh, how did
There's
they not
one
shoot
called
each other? That's bollocks.
There's one called Blue, Spider-Man Blue.
Okay.
I
can't think of many Spider-Man that are just graphic novel exclusive stories that aren't just collections of the comic in a book.
Yeah.
You know, like your equivalent of like the Dark Knight or the Long Halloween or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, that Spidey doesn't really have them, does he?
No, not really. There are a few, but just nothing. You know.
Yeah.
As high profile or as notable.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Just crawl under. There you go. That's it. Never stand up. Oh no, you've blown it.
No,
I'm going mano umano, imano, Spidaro.
Yep. But I do have my I do have certain I guess little stories that I do sort of like, but not particular, big arcs or anything.
Yeah.
I get it. Like when I was reading the comic books, so Peter's rather, his first girlfriend is Betty Brant.
Yep.
You know, the old the receptionist at the Daily Bugle.
Yes.
And in the Amazing Spider-Man, the original run, she's a very timid, shy, and highly anxious character.
Yes.
And she's very insecure, and she struggles with the fact that Peter goes and photographs Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay.
Because it puts Peter in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And she really struggles. To the point where she struggles with it, to the point where she has panic attacks.
Yeah, okay.
That something bad's going to happen to Peter, and he contemplates sharing his identity with her, but realized that she just could not handle it.
Okay.
At all. And then while Peter's, because he's always out doing Spider-Man stuff, he's not around as much. So Betty sort of needs comforting. She needs reassurance. And she ends up talking to journalist Ned Leeds.
Yep.
And the two famously get to they develop a close friendship, and then it looks like Ned is sort of moving in on Betty a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But Peter sort of sees that and is upset as he sort of gets by it. He understands that Ned's the sort of guy that she should be with, not him.
Yep.
And so he sort of steps aside and lets her go out with Ned.
Okay.
I was invested in that. Like I'm almost always invested in the relationships between Pete and other characters and the like. And I was really invested in it. I was like rooting for Pete, like, no, don't, fight for her. Yeah. And so even though, MJ's his one true love, but yeah, it was good. And then not that long ago in the arc I'm currently reading, well, in this issue around 180.
Yeah.
Betty comes back sporting a whole new, more modern day look.
Yep.
And she's telling Pete she's leaving Ned, and they're married, by the way, her and Ned at this point.
Yeah, okay.
And she's leaving Ned to be with him.
Right. Okay. Wow. Okay.
it's like it only took like 2 decades
Yeah.
of comic books, but to sort of pop up again.
Just suddenly out of nowhere.
And Peter's there's a key.
There's a key.
And Peter's on the sort of him and MJ had a rough patch, and they're sort of broken up again.
Yep.
And so he's sort of entertaining this idea. And Betty's like, you know, she's not as highly anxious anymore. She's a bit more reckless.
Well, Stickman's beating the shit out of you, Scott. You need to get out of there. You need to
Yeah,
get out of there.
yeah, I can't. Oh, he was stuck. I was stuck behind him.
We've seen now the danger of the Stickman.
And here's the
look
Sandman. Oh, Jesus! Down goes
No shits.
Spidey.
He gave no shits at all about your little web trick there. Nothing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, wow! Oh, he just as soon as I hit him, he's not a happy camper.
It's just the old punch and run technique, you know.
Yeah.
The coward special. Uh-oh.
Oh,
that was a little cheap shot.
Oh no! I'm out of webbing. Ow!
now you're fucked.
Oh.
Okay, so you can still hurt him.
Oh yeah, I can still hurt him.
I feel like you did pretty well there.
Yeah, I think I did too. I'm out of webbing, but yet I can still web sleep.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh, we've broken the game. Look at this. Oh, you had the rhythm.
Oh, damn it.
You had the rhythm, you lost it.
Oh.
Right, greedy. You got greedy, see? You went for 2 punches. You went for 2 punches instead of 1. Whoa.
Oh,
No, Scott, you broke. What's happened?
It was
You
working.
had him on the rope, Scotty.
Oh, dang it. It was working.
That was yours to lose, that one.
It was working. Oh, here we go.
Whoop.
Oh, dang it. Oh.
You love webbing back now, right?
Yeah, I should.
Don't need it. Don't need it.
Yep, there we go.
just sucker punch him. Whoa. You sort of just showed off your moves in front of him there.
Actually, it was me trying to.
Want some of this?
It was me trying to hit him. These 2 button presses are killing me. Oh great! I've got no webbing, and he still does the web shooting animation, but no web.
Does it make a sound?
Oh, I don't know. I can't hear it because of
Whoop. Another great character, by the way, Sandman. We had Mysterio, who I really like. Sandman, another great character.
See, I was never a big Sandman fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, it was a war of attrition there, and he just wanted it a little bit more.
Yep.
I thought that last kick would definitely do it.
Just got greedy. That's always a problem with these Souls-likes, Scott, which I've now declared that this is a Souls-like. Is that you just get a bit greedy sometimes, and you misread the pattern.
I'm trying to hit him and jump away straight away, but sometimes it's given me the like it's I might have held it down a bit too much or something, and I end up throwing another punch, and that puts me in harm's way.
This reminds me a little bit of the Hornet fight in Hollow Knight, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Too slow. Oh shit, I mean, bye. Oh shit.
I'm out of webbing.
Oh, got a cheeky extra one in there.
Yeah, there it goes.
There, look at you standing over it. Wasn't my idea. I wanted to park a kid. Vulture. World Trade Center. Oh. The Vulture? What's going on here?
I'll just leave you to it, Sandman.
Yeah, I guess I'll just leave you here.
Have a good day.
Farewell.
All right.
All right, Scott. Well, if you don't have a
Sweet.
favorite story arc, or if you only that's
Yeah.
really interesting. That about all the cool things that you've come across in Spider-Man and Spider-Man comics and Spider-Man media, you've picked
Yeah.
a relationship drama as your memorable
No, just
arc there, which is interesting.
That's
Which is a huge
part
of
of
it,
my
isn't it?
appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of my the appeal for it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It's like a bit of a soap opera, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And I think it's the era in which it came out in.
Yeah.
But it makes like I love how sort of reading about some of the things that affect Peter. Don't get me wrong, some of it's it's like just I want this issue over. I'm just really bored of Peter's personal troubles at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't afford Aunt May's medication again. Like, isn't she like 200 by now?
Yeah.
Like,
She just keeps going old out, mate, doesn't she?
But sometimes it's like it's just really awesome. Like when a villain learns his identity,
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just you can feel the sort of tension that the character's behind because it's just their whole world is just different, gonna change.
Well, you must have some favorite characters then, surely.
Oh, I do. Like other than our boy Spidey, my favorite is Carnage, of which I'm wearing my shirt.
Oh, look at that! There it is. Yep.
The Carnage shirt.
The '90s edgelord that we all know he is, Scott.
Yes. Yes, love Carnage.
Loves a bit of edge, old Scotty.
It's just like I love Venom as well. Like I love the sort of duality of Venom and Spidey, and the origin of them. But and the origin of Venom and Carnage. But I guess the thing that attracts me most to Carnage though is he's like the Joker in the there's no gray area. You know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
He knows exactly who he is, and there's no conflict there. There's no humanity. There's just I'm gonna fuck shit up.
Just a real asshole. Just a real
just
son
for
of a
fun.
bitch.
Yeah, just for fun.
I've just noticed actually that I'm almost kind of wearing a Sandman shirt, aren't I? Just completely by accident. Yeah, old Carnage. He's like. I think like I'm trying to think what is so appealing because he's so one-dimensional, and I'm trying to think what is it about Carnage that is so endearing. Like it's the design in part, right? Visual design.
Yeah. He does have a really good design.
He does. Yep. Oh, you got your mouse. You've given us a mouse cursor now.
Oh, yep.
There we go. It's the fact that he is so much more extreme, and again, it's the era that he came out in, right? As well, the fact that everything was kind of a little bit edgier, a little bit grittier, a little bit darker, and then Carnage comes out and sort of takes that 90s, everything that the 90s Spider-Man was about, and pushes it absolutely to 11, doesn't it? Really, with Carnage.
Yeah.
Like Carnage pretty much epitomizes 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, here's this good old Spidey.
Yeah, there it is. You can jump straight through that laser with that, I reckon. No problem.
Oh, that's what you get for wearing a ponytail, man. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's right.
No, just he's wearing the same clothes that the other ones are wearing, and he just shoots down. But,
it's interesting, like how in this facility, wherever we are, that oh wow, that fucked you right. Oh, look at that! They know. Wow. They've learned.
Right, yep. All right.
It's interesting that not only do they all have to have the same uniform, but they also have to have the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
As part of the uniform.
Hairstyle. Dang it! He fooled my flying kick.
That's it. He saw you coming. Make fun of my hairdo. It's company policy. Oh, gotcha. Look at that. Took you out. That's what you get. That's what you get for making fun of a good ponytail. I like a good ponytail, actually. The Witcher popularized it. Back again.
See, See, I always I've got uncles that wore ponytails for decades,
Okay, yep. Before it was cool.
including my older brother. So
Yeah, right.
he hasn't had one for a very, very long time, but growing up, he always had a ponytail.
All right, I'm gonna rattle off some of my favorite Spider-Man story arcs here.
Yeah, go for it.
So I've got a couple that come to mind. So immediately, straight away, it's hard to go past the death of Gwen Stacy, I think. That's
yes.
Super iconic, and featuring my favorite Spidey villain, which is Green Goblin. But I like some of the, like, there's a couple of that I really like that, again, they're a bit unconventional. Wow, he fucked you up. Like,
yeah. He didn't care. He didn't care. I was wailing on him.
Didn't give a shit. They're a tougher breed, these blue overall dudes.
That's the ponytail.
That's what does it. It's the source of their power. Oh, geez, get to another level.
Oh, no. I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
So on the GameCube controller, the where is it? The Y and X buttons both act as the select button on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay.
And the select button triggers mission select.
Oh.
So I accidentally nicked one of them.
I see.
So yeah, go on. So Death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, Death of Gwen Stacy. I like that one.
Majorly iconic.
Yeah, very iconic. What else is good? So yeah, there's a couple of unconventional picks that I really like. Like even Maximum Carnage is good fun, I think. You know, that stands out. It's not a terribly deep storyline, but it's just a bit of good fun.
No, it's just
and you get to
Carnage.
See some, again, really gnarly, very, grim 90s characters like Carrion and Shriek and stuff like that.
Yeah. Doppelganger.
Yep, Doppelganger. I really like some. There's a couple of more recent ones that I really enjoy. One in particular that I think I really love it. It's just a really nicely self-contained story. And the reason I love it is because, for me, it really epitomizes what Spider-Man is. And that is Spider-Man Coming Home, collection. That collection. Which is a Straczynski, I think his name is, arc. I think it was his first arc where he started writing Spider-Man and started to go all, like, sort of like, that it was fate that the spider bit Peter and totemistic stuff, and I'm not a big fan of all that, to be perfectly honest, but but the actual story that's being told, if you take away all that sort of external stuff and just look at the actual story that's being told, it's essentially a vampire travels to New York who feeds on the powers of superheroes and has been doing so for like 1,000 years or something.
Oh, wow.
And so every time he feeds on one, he becomes stronger, right? He doesn't gain their powers or anything. It's like drinking blood for a vampire, right? It's the fuel of his strength. Morlun is his name. And so he comes to New York seeking this spider totem wielder, or whatever he calls them, to drain his powers. And so another guy shows up to sort of warn Spider-Man that this Morlun character is coming, and this other guy has spider powers just like Peter does. Wow!
Dang it! These guys are tough. These guys are tough.
The money, these guys. I love these guys.
They've got me pegged.
They're giving you.
Oh, Jesus!
Look at that. They don't give a no. You can duck all you want. We've heard the stick guys and the gun guys. They've been talking to us. We know all your little tricks.
Go on, yeah. So
Anyway, so it leads to eventually this climactic. Well, I say eventually. It's not a very long story. It's, I don't know, 6 issues or so. But it leads to this climactic confrontation between Morlun and Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is way outmatched here. Way outmatched. Morlun is like, he's not a Superman class character, but he's he's the business, you know, like
Yeah.
he's exponentially stronger and faster and tougher than Spider-Man is after absorbing all these heroes' powers over these years. And they have this throwdown in the streets of Manhattan that is just epic, and it's just so cool to see again Peter sort of really show that heart that he has, because he knows he's beat. He knows he's going to die, essentially. He knows he can't beat Morlun, but he fights anyway because it's the right thing to do, because there's bystanders that are going to get hurt if he doesn't. He actually, at some point during the battle, I think, like, I can't remember how it happened. I haven't read it for a little while. But Morlun, like, throws him across, like, through a building or something like that. And, you know, he's just absolutely wrecked at that point. He's, the suit's shredded. You know, there's basically no suit left. He's bleeding out of his ears. There's, like, you know, he's completely screwed. And he actually, like, gets up and realizes he's near a payphone, and he goes and calls Aunt May to tell her that he loves her because he's convinced that he's going to die. And I just thought that was so beautiful. It's such a lovely moment of him at this payphone, you know, saying goodbye essentially without saying goodbye. Yeah. And then after that, he hangs up the phone, he turns around, and he goes, you know, he said he's got this great one-liner, and I wish I could remember what it is, right? But it's something about, like, you know, I know I'm going to die, but I'm not going to go down easy, or something along those lines, basically, is what he says. And then they resume the battle, and he just gives it everything he's got against this vampire dude. Can't beat him. But it's just such a, like, heart-wrenching, agonizing, thrilling, like, and with everything that makes Spidey, it wraps it all up in this one confrontation, and I just love it for that. And eventually, what's really cool about it is that he defeats Morlun, but not because of his Spider-Man powers. He defeats Morlun because of his knowledge as Peter Parker. It's his smarts as Peter that wins the day for him by basically injecting Morlun with his own radioactive blood. Which does all sorts, you know, again, being exposed to mass radiation, not good for anybody, even a 1,000-year-old vampire. And that's sort of what does him in the end. So I like that about it too, you know, that he the way he defeated Morlun, he could have done that by not even being Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
I just thought that was so cool. So, and the way he figures that out as well, you know? It's just, if you haven't read it and you love Spider-Man, track it down. It's such a great, just story, a little story, self-contained story arc. It's just so cool. I absolutely love it. Spider-Man Coming Home, it's called. And I actually got really excited when they announced Spider-Man Homecoming, the movie, thinking oh my god, are they going to do that story arc? That would be incredible. But they didn't.
No. We got Spider-Man Homecoming.
We got Spider-Man Homecoming, which was okay, but it was not Spider-Man Coming Home. So that was a really, really good one. I love that story arc in particular. It's just, I don't know, I find it very special, very exemplary of Spider-Man. What makes all the reasons why I love him is in that comic. And another one I really like is called Spider-Man Back in Black. And that is...
Yes, I'm yet to read that.
That is a great... again, I think it's about 6 issues story arc, and it's actually set after Marvel's Civil War. Do you know anything about it, Scott?
No, not at all.
Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want me to...
I don't mind you talking about it.
I was going to say, I don't want to spoil it if you don't want me to spoil it for you. But it's another great story. A very different story to Coming Home. This time, it's taken place just after, Marvel's Civil War, and it picks up immediately. Like at the end of Civil War, somebody assassinates or attempts to assassinate Aunt May. At the very, very end of Civil War. And this comic picks up like at that scene where she's been shot. And Peter, like, in the first page or two, Peter, like, just flips out and he
Yeah.
sees the shooter in a window. He grabs a Jeep and just throws it at like this, I don't know, 10th story window, and just annihilates the floor of the building, like in a rage, you know?
Yeah. As you do.
As you do. And so Aunt May gets taken to hospital. She's put on life support. It doesn't look like she's going to make it. It looks like she's going to die. And Peter essentially, he goes, and you find out that he's kept a black costume. It's not the symbiote costume. It's just a black, but it looks the same, but it's just spandex, right? He's kept it somewhere, and he's hidden it. And he goes and puts that on. And it's basically a symbol to the criminal underworld that he's not fucking around.
Yeah. He's done.
Yeah,
he's not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is gone. And so this comic, the six-issue comic, is basically Spidey wearing his black suit, just cutting his way through the criminal underworld to find out who set up the assassination on Aunt May.
Yeah.
And he does so, and he finds out that it's Kingpin. And Kingpin's in jail at the time.
Yeah.
And so Spidey breaks into the prison in the black suit, tracks Kingpin down, lets him out of his cell, and Kingpin obviously knows why he's there. Sees the black suit, so he knows what he's done. He knows he's figured it out, and he's like, "Oh, are you here to kill me, Spider-Man?" And Spider-Man says no, and then he takes the mask off, and he says, "I am," as Peter. And I love that line. I love that one-liner. And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of Kingpin and leaves him alive. But he says, like, "I want you to remember that you are just a man. That you are, like, nothing to me. You are just a man of flesh and blood. And I can do this anytime I want to. If you ever come near my family again," sort of thing. It's just a great, very different Spider-Man story from the usual thing, and that's why I like it, because it is so different. And I get it, well worth a read. It's told and written really, really well. Again, just a nice 6-issue. I've actually got issue 1 framed on my wall because I like it that much. But I've got all of them in a hard copy, and I just love it. So that's a couple of examples. Craven's Last Hunt is another one that comes to mind. A really good story.
Yeah, damn it! I knew I was gonna die.
How?
I'm walking around with one little notch of health. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. Like, there's a door I needed to access. I think I have to hit some panel or something.
Follow the Spidey sense, Scotty. You've got to follow it. It's what it's there for, Scott. It's to warn you. It's not to warn you of danger. It's to give you a sense. It's like a GPS. We haven't seen that implementation.
But I was just sort of lost there. I was like, I need to avoid combat at all costs.
How come they can shoot through the laser shield?
Yeah, I know, right? I can't even walk through it.
That's bollocks. Oh! This one hasn't learned yet. He hasn't learned the trick. Oh, that one has.
No, they shoot it. They stand upright at you for long distance, and when you're close, they shoot down. They aim at you.
Yep, they know.
Jeez, look at them. I'm just on the second floor of this place, and I'm dead.
Hardcore. You're playing hard mode. This is hard mode. So before we close up here, Scotty, do you have a favorite representation of Spider-Man outside the comics?
My favorite
A
representation.
show, movie, game, any other form of media, like your favorite representation of Spider-Man?
It's a combination of the games. So I am. So the Spider-Man 2000 game, the 90s series. The 90s series would be my fave.
Yeah.
Just because it's what I
nostalgic.
grew up with.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic, but it's also the he's learning in it. Like he's learning. There's not just about what he's doing with his supervillains and stuff, but how to help his family and friends. And so yeah. Well, with that being said, I am really enjoying the actual Spider-Man 2 on PS5.
Yes. Now, tell us a little bit about your experience with that. Without we don't have too much longer left here, but
yep, no worries.
How are you finding it?
So I'm loving the main story, Pete's story. I'm really digging it. It's I'm on the last level basically right now.
And did you play the first one or not?
Haven't finished yet. Yeah. Oh hell yeah! I've played the first one 3 times.
Yeah, gotcha.
I had my qualms with the first one, but oh yeah, I'm not going to live through this.
Not with that attitude. There's help.
But this one is better. I feel it's better, but I'm loving the story, even though it doesn't strictly stick to the versions of the characters I like and prefer. It does its own thing with certain characters, but others they do a good job with. So I'm really enjoying the storytelling and the sort of and the story in it. And unlike the Marvel movies, this Sony game actually gets the character.
Yep.
But my one sort of gripe with the game is not too dissimilar to your gripe with Diablo 4. Okay. There's a lot of stuff in the game that's just there to say we had more content in this game.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
There's like, to give you an example, just there's a mission where Spidey has to water plants. There's a mission where there's also a mission where Spidey has to shoot imaginary wasps with a drone bee.
Right.
There's a mission where Miles, because you play as both Miles and Spidey.
Yep.
There's a mission for Miles where he's helping a college kid ask his partner to the homecoming dance.
Okay.
Basically non-superhero shit.
Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Scotty. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, fuck that. Like it's the sort of shit that you find in, like, it really brings to mind those kids cartoons where, for really young kids, where it's all wholesome. There's all the villains are not threatening in whatsoever, and they're just sort of having mild hijinks, really.
Yeah, okay.
And
it's all
everything's wholesome. Everything's wholesome. Spidey's biggest issue for the day is getting a cat out of a tree. And it's that shit.
Yeah, okay.
That shit is in this game.
You got no time for that, Scott. You got no time.
And I've got no time for it. It's a fucking superhero game. I don't open a Spider-Man comic and go, oh, I so hope he waters some plants in this. I can't wait for some horticulture to be in my Spider-Man.
Can't wait to get to the plant watering issue. Yep.
And yeah, and it's that. And like there's also there's lots of stuff like that, where stuff that's completely has nothing to do with the character.
Yeah, it's padding.
It's padding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's purely there to make them so they can actually come out and say, oh, there's more content in this game than the previous one.
Can you ignore those missions, or they're part of the main storyline?
No, you can ignore them.
Okay.
You can ignore them, but so that's where the completionist in me is really pissing me off.
Right, I see. Okay.
But I don't know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When I take on a mission, I go to an area and I go, okay, there's a side quest here. It's called this.
Yeah.
Let's go see what it is.
Are there really good ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it gets tricky, right? Because if you knew for a fact that all the side quests were the equivalent of watering plants, then you could safely just ignore them. But it's when there are some that are actually really decent, then you don't want to miss out on them. So you go along, and then it's like it's a fucking gacha machine, then, isn't it? Like you're going along, you're spinning the dial and seeing what comes out. You don't know if it's going to be good or if it's going to be watering plants.
Yep, pretty much. And like there's another one. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but so there's another
Well, you
quest where
you spoiled the fucking plant watering now, so you might as well just go whole hog, I think.
there's a quest where there's these one of the in the first game there were pickups that were in the form of Spider-Man's backpack, and they were everywhere, you know, all throughout the city. These backpacks that, you know, Peter has where he stuffs his Civ clothes in on a rooftop so he can turn into Spidey.
Yeah.
And so in this game, in the second one of the collectibles is these spiders, these remote control spiders, and each one, and there's like 52 or something of them. Each one of them is in the like outfit of a themed on a different Spidey outfit.
Yeah.
And anyway, once you go through, and as you're collecting them, every now and then you'll get a communication saying, like, you know, they're emitting a signal, they're coming from somewhere. We need more of them to find out, you know, pinpoint the signal where it's coming from. And for those who, okay, so whoever's listening that doesn't want to hear this spoiler, just turn off for like 30 seconds to a minute, all right?
It won't be 30 seconds to a minute when it starts talking. Go like 10 minutes ahead.
Okay, shut up. But okay, so basically when you collect all of them, a portal in the city opens up, and you go into this portal, and all it is a cameo from a character who I presume is from the new Across the Multiverse Spider-Man movie.
Right, okay.
The animated one.
Right.
And all they do is say, thanks, Spidey, for collecting those. If you see Spidey 299, say hi or whatever, and then that's it.
Okay.
You go around an entire city collecting these things just for this stupid little cameo for a movie I haven't even seen yet or care about.
It's a great movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I will, and I am looking forward to it. But I was expecting so much more from this big, massive fetch quest.
Yeah, okay.
And all I get is this. Oh, thanks for collecting those for us.
I think
Bye.
It's for reasons like this that, like I've talked about this before on the stream, where I find that these kinds of games, for me, the game gets in the way of the story. I just want to see the story, and so for me, it's actually better to just go and watch someone who's strung all the cutscenes together on YouTube and made a movie out of it that's like 10 hours long, and I can go and watch that over a couple of days, and I can feel like I've played the game because I've enjoyed the story. Like I did that with the God of War games, I did that with the Uncharted games, I did that with the Last of Us games, and I'll do it with these as well, because you know, the web slinging looks awesome, don't get me wrong, and swinging around the city looks great, but I really want to engage with the story, and I think that all the things that you're describing, for me, just sort of hinder that experience more than help it. That's just for me. You know, there's people who love that sort of shit, and that's great, that's fine, but for me, it just kind of gets in the way.
And it does hinder the story a bit. But some of the time, so I was super jazzed because it's pretty obvious, you know, that you get the black suit in this game.
Yeah. They didn't.
It's all over the promotional material.
No, did not hide that at all.
So I was jazzed about getting the black suit, but I also know Venom's in it.
Yeah.
And I know they're doing it. I knew they were doing an original take on Venom.
Yeah. Okay.
So things could have been totally different. So I didn't know how long a time I was going to have in the black suit. So I wanted to enjoy the black suit as much as I could, because the first game you're just in normal Spidey clothes. So I spent the whole game as normal Spider-Man. So I wanted to spend as much of the game in black suit Spidey as I could. So I purposely didn't do stuff so that I could do that stuff when I had the black suit to, you know, pad out my experience with it.
Yep.
Rather than suddenly hit a story point and then, oh God, I don't have the black suit again. Like if that be the case. Yeah. So but some of it's really full of that shit where it just doesn't, it's just there so they can say there's more content in the game. Like in the first game, you had those backpacks to collect, and you know, if you even question why the fuck Peter's buying a fucking new backpack every single time, because he's got like 50 plus of them around the city. Yeah. but every time you collected one, it had like a little artifact with it from Spider-Man's history, like in the comic books, as well as the game's own inverse history.
Yep.
Which was cool, nice little flavoring and stuff. And it was cool to see, like, you know, his old school original web shooters and stuff. They were one of them. Like, that stuff's cool. And, like, I enjoy that stuff. And that's what the comic book collectibles in my favorite
I was going to say, that
game
sounds
like.
very much like that, yeah.
Like this nice little taste of the character's origins and how far they've come and, yeah, through history. But yeah, this was just purely just collect 50 fucking 2 robots throughout this bloody city and then
busy work.
Yeah, busy, total busy work.
Yeah, busy work for the sake of busy work. Yeah, it's so they can, you know, because every fucking game these days has to be 120 hours long. You know, they have to be able to slap that on the box somewhere. That's an 80-hour game or a 60-hour game or a 100-hour game, and I don't really know why every game has to be 100 hours long these days, you know? Like, yeah. I don't understand. I guess there's a lot of people that are making, and if you do, that's fine, I get it, a value judgment on hours rather than quality. You know, if you can get both, great. But there's a lot of times, like, especially for me, where if I see a game is a 100-hour game, that's an immediate turn off. Like, because I know I'm not gonna come anywhere near close to finishing that. I had this conversation actually earlier in the year, much at the very start of the year, when I played the Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl remakes. Yeah. And I had this discussion with Sam about how I remember when I played the originals back in the day. I think it was Platinum that I played.
Yeah.
That I remember spending like 80 hours on a run through in that game, right? Somewhere around that 70 to 80 hours. I'm sure the time played was at when I finally finished and beat the Elite Four and was all done and finished with the game to my happiness, right? And I could have kept going. There's a lot of shit you could do after the ending of the game, but I remember it being an epic fucking adventure. And then these are literally just straight remakes, right? They haven't done not really. I mean, they cut a few things, don't get me wrong. But in terms of like size of the world and stuff, you're traversing the same area. But I finished the remake in 25 hours. And I was like, oh, that just didn't feel... It just didn't feel as epic to me as the original. But would I have ever had a hope in hell of finishing it if it was 80 hours like the original? The answer is no, I wouldn't have. And that's what Sam was saying, is like he'd much rather a 25-hour bite-sized experience that he can actually complete in a busy life than an 80-hour experience that he probably won't even start because it's 80 hours, you know? And that was a really good point. Like, that changed my thinking on it completely, of like kind of feeling like, oh, that didn't feel as grand and epic as the original one did, to going, oh, actually, I'm actually kind of happy that it was a 25-hour experience and not an 80-hour experience. And I think that's the same with these Spidey games, you know, and every fucking big budget AAA, you know, first-party title these days. They all seem like they follow this mold of like how many hours of content, you know, I use the word loosely, like plant watering and fucking collectathons, can we squash into a game just to pad out the play time so we can actually slap that on the promotional material and say that's how long the game is. Yeah. You know, and maybe we're just out of touch and that's what people want these days, but it's certainly not what I want. Yeah.
Well, apparently, when this game came out, it copped a bit of controversy because people were arguing, apparently, that the game was too short.
Yeah, right, okay.
And like the stories, like they said, the story's like 15 to 20 hours long. I'm currently sitting at 30 hours in it, but I'm doing everything.
Yeah, right.
And I don't fucking have a problem with how long it's gone on.
No,
I've really enjoyed the ride.
If you've played that game for 30 hours, right?
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. That's not a massive 60-hour experience, you know. That's a reasonable game length that you can feasibly see yourself completing amongst your, you know, job and children and all that sort of stuff, right? And life duties and things that come up and get in the way of, you know, playing games all day like we used to do as teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize it was a 30-hour game. I thought it was some big bloated thing. But I guess that's where it finds out that, like, then we go to the other end of the spectrum, don't we? Where it's a 30-hour game because it's padded to fuck. And if it wasn't padded to fuck, well, then it becomes a question of, well, you're actually playing... How much was that game? 100 Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know...
I think, around about that. I think I paid 90.
Yeah, okay, so now you're paying a 90 Australian dollars for a 8-hour game, right? Like, if you just played the story through on its own, maybe, 8 to 10 hours, possibly. Now you're going to make a value judgment on that, and how does that affect your value judgment? Are you happy to pay $90 for 10 hours of fun? And a lot of people, I think, would say no, and I understand that. I would probably... it depends on the experience for me, I guess, but yeah, it's an argument that doesn't have a right answer because it's not a fact. It's all based on personal opinions, and that's fine. But it's interesting. It is interesting, how the way people make individual value judgments versus the way industry makes individual value judgments for people.
Yeah.
It's certainly a fascinating topic of discussion. As we've just proven, Scott.
Yeah. but yeah, it's the story's definitely long. Like it felt like it. I kept wondering, because I was really enjoying the story, the story beats and everything. I was like, there are a couple of points where I hope this is not going to end here.
Yeah.
And because I was just really sort of enjoying it, but I'm up to the last level. It's given me that little warning, that nice little courteous warning that, if I go any further, I need to, it's telling me, you're about to hit the last leg of the game. If you want to do your upgrades and stuff, you got to do it now. You can go back if you like. So I'm looking forward to the end of it.
Okay, cool.
Which I'll shortly see, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's been a really, really fun ride. I've enjoyed it. It's.
How does it compare to Spider-Man 2: The Sinister Six? Which is the better game, Scott? That's what we're all here for.
Well, Jim.
We've got a bunch of people who clicked on this fucking video thinking they were coming to watch Spider-Man 2. They've ended up with this bloody shit. And now the people want to know, well, if I'm sitting here watching this, and I've watched it for an hour and 40 minutes at this point, which one's bloody better?
Well, I will say this. Which Spidey game allows you to crawl under the belly of a truck? There's your winner.
There's your answer.
There's your winner. In true Spidey fashion. No other Spidey game I've ever seen, and I've played a lot, that has allowed me to crawl under the belly of a truck.
Under a truck. That's where it's at. There's that. There you go.
Yeah, that's that authentic Spider-Man feeling right there.
Scott's
look at this. I'm in vents all the time. I'm in vents more than I'm in the room.
That's it. Spider-Man, baby. I'm
just
Spider-Man.
Roundhouse. Yep.
Roundhouse.
Look at it. Just the transitions with the wall crawling is awesome.
I thought you were making some progress when you were outside there. You found that little hidden piece of armor there.
Yeah.
And then it pointed you back towards the other building, or it looked like it did. Maybe.
Yeah, I have to crawl through the top. So here and then go down and enter this way.
I see. Oh, bye. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We've got it. Oh yeah, I see. Whoa.
Damn it, he got me. Quick draw.
In time. No, this is the wrong direction. But maybe it wants you to go out into there and up?
Yeah. And then to the left.
I see.
So, yep, it's... And then I flip over. I hate how he...
There's the armor.
Oh, yeah, I need the armor. Bloody hell, I need the armor.
Yep. Just watch when this one wears off, because that'll be it when this one wears off.
There's a full health.
There's the health. Get the health. Yes.
It's not even full health. It's in this big, massive box, bigger than
okay.
all the others, and
That's
it's
fine.
like this is
That's
you
fine.
want this, you know you need this. It's just like nope, it's not even full health, but it's something. It's anything.
Oh, so there's the armor.
There's
Right.
there's this set of armor.
All right. So now you got to blaze the trail. To where?
And
To
enter
here.
through here.
Oh, run while you're invulnerable. Don't worry about
Yeah,
them.
that's the thing. Like I need to come back out.
Oh, okay. They don't
So
respawn.
I need to enter here.
They don't respawn.
Oh yeah, it's because I did do the maybe.
All right, here we go. Now we're in
Uncharted. Oh
territory.
Jesus!
You're nearly fucking dead.
One hit.
This is
And
it.
if I
This is gonna
crouch-
be it. We'll wrap it up either on the next death or a boss encounter. Could this be it?
It's just,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What, vulture?
Oh, vulture. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh,
Jesus! Carpet bomb and dead. Carpet bomb and dead.
Amazing.
Oh, let's do that again.
Vulture's just reminded me, by the way. Oh, how are you supposed to
Yep.
dodge that exactly? What are you supposed to do here?
Like I think I have to be on the side of the screen he's going to enter from.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's going to come.
I see. You gotta chase them. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think you gotta wait till he's on the floor before you go with your fly kickings there. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Rub-a-dope, rub-a-dope, rub-a-dope. Oh, you got him. You've got him.
I just hope he doesn't change his pattern.
Yeah, because then you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm real fucked.
Here he comes.
Oh yeah, just take it, Vulture, take it.
Watch me beat up this old man in a bird suit. Now, if you're a Spider-Man fan and you haven't
Yep.
seen my favorite iteration of Spider-Man, which is the Spectacular Spider-Man TV series, which was tragically a criminally cut short after the Disney Marvel acquisition as part of that deal, you need to go and watch that, because that, for me, is the ultimate portrayal of Spider-Man. When I think Spider-Man, I think of Mark Bagley's 90s Spider-Man from my cards, and I think Spectacular. And I think I'd go as far to say as Spectacular actually... Oh, you did it. Well done.
Get back here.
Get back here, you Birdman.
Wow, he's really got toned glutes.
He does. Look at that. That, for an old boy, he's doing well there, isn't he?
He's doing real
He's
well.
doing
He's
well.
jumping off of skyscrapers.
You could crack a walnut between those bad boys. Yeah, Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, only going for 2 seasons, and it improves, I think, on a lot of aspects from the comics and the Spidey lore, and you know, actually produces what it changes for the better, I think. It is magnificent, absolutely magnificent. I love it to bits. I think it's on Disney Plus. You can watch it, which is great. It's great that you never used to be able to access it anywhere.
Everything's on Disney Plus.
But now you can
like everything Spider-Man is on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So you can get that on Disney Plus now, and you should absolutely give that a look if you're a Spidey fan, because it is incredible, spectacular, one might say.
Yes, you can see the new Spidey and His Amazing Friends, which is one of those, very wholesome young audience shows that my son loves.
No, it's
he
nice.
loves Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and you can even watch the original Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from like the 70s.
Oh yes,
the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
So
we might call it a night there, Scotty. What do you think?
Yep.
I think we've given Spider-Man
I think
a good showing.
I just took on an old dude with some pretty impressive glutes.
With some amazing ass cheeks. And what better way to finish the night than that, I can't think of one. Anything from here is just going downhill. Cool. Yeah, thanks for showing us that, Scott. I think that's really cool.
That is, I don't think that's a bad effort. How many of the
you're taking out 3,
Sinister
half
Six?
of the Sinister Six in just under 2 hours.
Yep.
And I think, like, I reckon if we had kept going, another 15 minutes, you would have had the whole half dozen.
In the bag.
In the bag, no problem.
In the bag.
You were on fire, especially on that last level. You know, there's no stopping him. Yeah, I still can't believe that this is a Game Boy Color game and not a Game Boy Advance game. It looks great. It's great, animated brilliantly. Like, yeah, this is really cool. I would have played the shit out of this if A, I knew it existed, and B, I had a Game Boy Color back in the day.
I did have a Game Boy Color, but I didn't know this thing was there.
Yeah. This would have been super cool.
I did not have much on my Game Boy Color. I had like Pokemon Gold and Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
What else did you need?
I think that's it.
What else did you need? Like, I look at other Game Boy Color games, like, say, Oracle of Ages.
Oh, shut in the butt.
Oracle, I think, was it Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons were Game Boy Color games?
Yeah, no, I did have one of those too.
Yeah, they are not very good looking games, I don't think, especially when you put it next to this, right? So, who did you say made this?
So this is the developers Taurus Games. So Torus.
Hats off, Taurus.
Yes, they were I don't know if they're a subdivision or just
Vicarious
Vision.
Torus. So as in the shape, not the animal star sign.
Oh, see, I only know the Taurus. I only know the animal.
So I get to teach you something.
Or the Pokemon.
A Taurus, Torus, is the shape of a car tire, like a cylinder that goes in a circle with a piece missing out of the middle of it. You know, you know, like a car tire.
Yeah.
Or a car tire is a Taurus. That's that shape.
Okay.
There you go. Sigil, famously in the D&D multiverse, is the shape of a Taurus.
Okay. Cool.
Well, there you go. Just to give you a bit of education in your Spider-Man stream.
Yes. Can't be too careful.
Go now and wow your friends with the with your knowledge of the Taurus. Next time someone's getting the tire change, you'll be like, well, actually, you know what that shape is. Impress your partner.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to say before we close it on out, Scotty?
No.
No.
That's all good.
No, that was great.
That's been fun. I actually really enjoyed this one.
Me and you have hung out many occasions and chatted Spider-Man for ages. And we
and we'll do again.
we didn't even talk about the films. We didn't even talk about what we like or didn't like. We didn't talk about hardly anything of the comics or shows. We could literally sit here and chat Spider-Man for hours and hours and hours and hours and not get sick of it. You all probably will, but we wouldn't.
No.
So we won't.
And it's not about you guys.
Yeah, that's right. Let's be real. If you want to watch, that's great, but we're not your monkeys. All right, on that note, we're going to get on out of here. If you hung out with us, thanks very much for doing that. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you got your Spidey fix. And we'll be back, no doubt, at some point, hanging out again, talking shit, playing something, and having a good time. So until we do so, make sure you enjoy yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, whatever you're doing, and keep on side-scrolling. We'll see you next time.